Hey guys, Chris from ClassicVWBugs.com, and I got a pretty big tip for you today, and it's going to be probably longer than my usual tips that you see on YouTube or on any of the video sites, and that is I'm going to show you how to break down your doors. We're going to take the handles off, we're going to take the door panels off, we're going to take the armrest off, we're going to take all the felt channel out, we're going to take the window out, the post and the vent window, all the rubber that's got to come out with it as well. I'm going to show you what to save, what not to save, and basically, you do this to get your car ready for paint. And I see a lot of cars too many times that leave all this stuff on and get the car painted, and all this stuff is oversprayed, and it looks kind of bad. But I always gut my cars, so this is one area that I want to show you. I get a lot of emails on it, and that's it. Let's get to work. Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do is take off the handles. I already took this handle off. I'm going to show you how to take this one off. It's basically the same thing on these early bugs, all the way up to I think even the late 60s. I think even 67 was they started with the pull handle. But for this one, what you're going to have to do is there's a collar here. You got to press this collar, and right back in here is a pin. That pin has to be hammered out in order for this handle to come off. So that's exactly what I did over here. And if you can see, I don't know if you can see right here, but I'll probably just zoom the camera a little closer for you a little later, but there's a shaft here. And this is what the handle goes on. And then here's the teeth that the handle rests on, so to give it the opportunity to turn. But behind the teeth is a space where the pin goes into, so it gives you an idea of where that pin is supposed to go. So when it comes time to push this back on and put the door panels back on and whatnot, you know that you can't hammer the pin on the teeth area. You got to hammer it so it clears into this space. Okay, so here we go. You get your handy dandy hammer, you get a nail like this. Basically, you want to push, get that nail into the hole, like so, and hammer that out. There it comes. Make sure you put your hand over here to catch the pin. The pin's really tiny. Okay, there it is. There's your little pin. If you lose this, don't worry, there's a way you can actually just cut a nail pretty much like this. Make a little section of it, kind of like that. I don't know if you can see. Okay, you could just cut the nail and then throw that in there as the pin, and then this should just come off. Yep, there you go. Save these. You want to put them in like a can or something and label them. So that's how you take your handles off. Okay, so now you got your door panels that you got to take off. If you want to save your door panels, some people want to save them because they got the original and they might be in decent shape already. So what I usually do is just try to get your hand behind this way. If you can. It's tough sometimes. Sometimes you got to use like a putty knife or something, but I'm going to try to get behind here. There we go. Oh, they just all popped off really nicely there. But if you're gonna, move this up just a bit, try to get both hands behind to pull it off, not just one, because if you do that, you might buckle the board and actually break it. So I then just start going all the way around. This one's he's got a button down here. So just keep going all the way around and then you'll be able to pull it off. Just keep pulling off. Now usually, when it comes to the door handle here, the armrest rather, you got to pull up to get it off the catch, to get it out of there. Okay, so here's the armrest. It just basically you would pull up once everything is unbuckled. You just pull up this way because it's hooked on a catch here. See the catch? That catch is on a bracket that holds the armrest on. There's the bracket that hooks into that catch, so that's how you have to pull it up. Okay, one thing I want to point out is these springs. When you take the door panel off, you're going to have these springs on here. You need to save these. And the springs go on, I just dropped that one. Springs need to go on with the small hole first. So the big hole, the big round end rests up against the door panel. I have another video out there basically showing that some of the newer springs are not as soft. They're really hard, and they actually come out even a little bit further. So sometimes I cut the spring because it's really difficult sometimes when you're putting on new door panels and to press the panel on and then try to get the pin on. And some of these newer springs out there are real tough to press and to get the pin in there, so I just sometimes cut them, but these old ones seem to be soft enough. Okay, so apparently this guy did something really wacky here when I noticed. He's got this big 2x4 here. I guess it looks like it's holding the window up because when I'm cranking it, I just see the arm moving here and it's not moving the window. So I didn't know this. This is all new to me, so I'm just going with the flow here. So basically, I'm just going to try to take out this piece of wood and see what the heck is going on here. The window's coming down now. You find some wacky things. Oh, I see why. Look at that. This window is missing the frame that is on the bottom of it in order for it to latch onto this. So I'm going to have to look for that later. So what's going to happen now, this window, basically what you would do is there's an arm here and there's a wheel, and the wheel goes into the track that is on a brace on this window. So you just pop this off and then just basically slide the window out. Now, okay, it's going to come down. Before I do that, there's a couple things I got to loosen. Okay, so first things first, what you're going to have to do is get your 10mm socket, okay, to go around. You got to take the nuts off, okay, for the regulator here, and this thing's going to have to come out, and you're going to have to take this post out. This is basically all on all sides of Bugs. Later years I had them on both sides. In the early years it just had the armrest on the passenger side. So I'm going to do that for you now before we take the window out.